Okay, so we are the team from St. Petersburg, Russia, a team of local urbanists and architects, and as you can see, also designers. And we decided to tackle a problem of post-Soviet so-called micro-districts are marked with green color. People call these territories sleeping blocks. These are apartment buildings built mostly in Soviet period, and people go there only come there to sleep and go away in the morning. So in daytime, these territories are empty except for elder people and kids, and they don't work like a city. Being within city borders, they're actually not a city, these sleeping blocks. Okay, we all know that for an urban place to be successful, the best rates for dwelling and commercial use would be 80 to 20. 80% dwelling, 20% commercial. And in last year, we do see a trend here in St. Petersburg of gradual penetration of commercial use into these sleeping blocks. But it's highly imbalanced, and these businesses are concentrating mostly around metro stations, and they make no input into local community development. Why this happens? Let's take a look at micro-district structure. Here we see a formal spatial picture. Commerce is occupying ground floors, dwellers occupy the rest of the building, and the city authorities manage the land. But actually, on the legal side, we have this kind of picture. Commerce in the ground floors, city authorities on the land, and a cloud of unconnected flat owners who actually own nothing except for inner space of their flats. So there's kind of no community, no subject for development. Is it okay? Can you see my presentation well? Okay.
Yes.
This is what we would like to see, the better picture. Suppose flat owners form a partnership and take power over their resources like courtyards, the ground floors, buildings, roofs, and on the other hand, they take responsibility to manage these resources themselves. For example, they can lend a ground floor to a shop themselves and take the rent and use it for repairing the buildings or some community needs, for building something on their territory. So we have an entity, a location-based partnership. On the other hand, city management. Now they can start actually manage, that is, set up the rules. They don't have to worry about every bench and every rubbish bin on the territory, and they don't have to worry what people need. A big problem here in St. Petersburg, municipal authorities think what people need, how can they guess? But now they can stop guessing because people know what they need, and they can implement it themselves, and city management can start manage to set rules and to think about long-term strategy. These are the benefits. How to start? First of all, what we need? We need to identify and describe resources in the urban space. This is the goal of what we call a spatial format project. What are resources? Here you see a picture of a typical micro-district. And the resources are parts of urban space that could be used either for community needs or for making money for communities, like probably something can be built, parking can be built, sports ground can be built, also roofs and plays. These are all resources. And the task of a spatial format team is to identify, describe, and evaluate these resources. Then, Then activators come into place, those community workers. They take a spatial format picture prepared by the spatial format team and come with it to local people in the place and show them that they have resources and how they can potentially use them. And then work with activists in the place on forming a partnership. Partnership activists involve business consultant to create a solid business plan of using their resources. Then they should go to city authorities with their partnership papers and their business plan, and city authorities look at the business plan and check it, validate it, and, well, resources go to people. This is the scheme. Well, the next thing, this started with micro-districts, which are not central locations. But if we look at the city center, here is the city center. Architectural pattern is different, but the situation is basically the same, that the city is not working, city is falling apart. People, dwellers on the one side, commerce on the other side, everything is falling apart. So this is a problem in the whole city. Because the situation is the same. This picture I demonstrated earlier, that new picture, this is the same throughout all the city and in the center too. The last thing, how can we actually implement it in the sense of funding? We think it's hardly possible that local authorities can drive the changes from the very beginning themselves because they're cautious. They usually do what they used to do, especially here in Russia, and they're scared of change. That's natural. But if you have some successful precedents, it can work. And we think that with some work, we probably can make authorities to cooperate in the sense of giving permission to experiment in some experimental regions of the city. So, possible plan of realization may be like this. At the exception, it's funded by grants, special format, activators work, with permission of local government. Then, successful precedents are demonstrated. Local authorities see benefits. And after that, local authorities gradually take up funding. Local budget takes up funding. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.